Hi, I'm Sharon Bill. As my lessons progress on through the Grade 6 Music Theory workbook, we now look at question 1A, exercise 8, in which we are required to allocate chords to an early Baroque German song. In this exercise, I show you how to properly allocate chord choices to this song, and I explain all of the rules of harmony that are implied when you allocate a particular chord. The full lesson can be found on my Patreon channel. If you visit patreon.com/Sharon Bill, you'll find the full lesson there. You can find the links to this lesson in the cards and in the description box below. After this short little video, you'll see sample examples of this lesson to show you how I work with you step by step through every bar, note by note. Everything you need to fully understand to properly answer this question can be found in my Harmony and Composition textbook. This is available from Amazon, and you can find the links to that in the cards and in the description box below. And of course, everything you need can be found easily on my website. If you visit www.sharonbill.com, you'll find everything you need right there. Enjoy your studies. Bye. And so do remember that whichever chord we allocate, as we imply a bass note, and so we're going to make a note of the bass note that we are suggesting through the chord, and we need to make sure that we observe certain rules of harmony. For example, we can't double the third in a major chord, and different aspects like that. So although we're not looking at the complete 4-part harmony, nevertheless, even with just a chord allocation, we imply a bass line. So we just want to make sure we don't end up with a fifth here. We don't want consecutive fifths straight out of the box, as it were. So here we have an F. Now we could choose chord 2, but generally speaking, I always feel that chord 2 is nicely reserved for leading into cadence points. Not all the time, but just generally speaking, it's good to just stick to the primary triad, especially as we're just establishing the key. So we could have a chord 4, which might do better. So if that's a note D here, because chord in the root position is D, that's going to be D to F as a third, so that means we've not got a problem of consecutive fifths, so that will do the job straight away. And then we're back again to an E flat. And so there's no reason why we can't return to chord 1 again. However, if we felt like we wanted to just kind of get things moving a little bit, if we stay in root position all the time, it does sound a little bit twee perhaps. So this is an E flat, so there's no reason why we can't use a chord 1B, because we won't be doubling the third, so that gives us a C. So that would be E, G, B, F, A, C. So that is going to create a problem, isn't it? So if we go to 6B, that would soften this sort of suggested interrupted cadence. So if we have 6B and go to an A, now actually, now that we've got there, I don't like that big jump in the bass line. So actually I'm going to change. It's not wrong, but it just seems quite clumsy. So if I go back and stick to my first choice of 5B, that's a G in the bass. And then 6B is an A in the bass. Now it does look like it's sort of asking for trouble because we've got this parallel movement, whereas contrary motion, sorry, not parallel, I should say similar motion movement, it's sort of shadowing in the same direction, isn't it? However, G to B is a third, A to C is a third, so we're okay, but you do have to be careful because you could be getting consecutives. We're okay there though, and actually I prefer just that stepwise movement. Now here we're at our cadence point, so let's miss this chord for the moment, and here we can see we've got a B, which would give us a nice chord 5 to 1. And we'll stay in root position there for a strong finish, so I think that works for sure. So now we need to think what will lead into that. We've got note D, and I think this is a prime opportunity for our chord 2, and 2B is always a nicer sort of lead in. It's a more melodic effect. So 2B51 is kind of textbook nice ending. So 2B gives us a D. So we got an octave there. So we just need to be careful. Chord 5 is an E. So we're okay. So D to D is an octave. E flat to B flat is a fifth. And then if we just drop down to our tonic, we get an octave again.